My name is Antoinette Cabulao Ballesteros.
My name is Erica Almoro.
My name is Glidden Hermano Busco.
My name is Sarah F. Badinas.
We are the Group 1 from BSSW 2B. So, have a pleasant day, everyone. Especially to our beloved instructor, Mr. Sir John Christian Claros. So, for today's video, we're going to discuss about the use of multimedia and other technologies are traditional and new. Social workers are making increased use of technology to deliver services to clients, communicate with clients, gather information about clients, communicate with and about colleagues, and educate students and practitioners. The advent of technology including internet, text or SMS, email, video, social media, and networking, cloud storage, and other forms of digital communication and software. It is essential that today's social workers be thoroughly familiar with significant developments to ensure that their practice complies with prevailing ethical standards. When social work was formally inaugurated as a profession in the late 19th century, practitioner worked face-to-face with people who struggled with poverty, healthcare, education, employment, aging, housing, and many other personal, social, and environmental challenges. Traditionally, clinical social workers have learned about the critical importance of eye contact, body language, posture, tone of voice, and interpretation of clients' nonverbal cues. Also, social work educators have learned about the complexity of classroom dynamic, interpreting and managing students' classroom behaviors. In contrast, in recent years, a relative fractions of social work's storied history, increasing numbers of practitioners have begun to use technology extensively to deliver services, administer programs, communicate with and gather information about clients and colleagues, and educate students and practitioners, thus introducing teachers and students in an essential component of quality education and gatekeeping. And that times have changed. Due to technological advances and innovations, social work is being redefined and transformed, which has led challenging questions about what it means to be a social worker, what social work entails, and what new ethical standards are required. Now, let's move on to the next discussion, which is the relationship between traditional and new media. Traditional media of newspaper and television have or had staffs of people to research and verify the truth of reporters' claims. You could believe that they had been diligent about trying to verify that they told you was true. And in new media, those checks are gone and we have to take reporters' word for it whether a situation was as presented. Traditional media has gatekeepers that limit access. New media are both digital and print is now accessible to everyone who want to put in the effort. And in spite of the way it's often positioned, traditional and new media, it's often do not have to go ahead to make stronger to head this sorry. And in spite of the way it's often positioned, traditional and new media do not have to go head to head. These mediums can actually be used together to make stronger communication. Traditional and new media can complement one another, with each playing a vital role. Next discussion was all about the example of traditional media and new media. So firstly, the example of traditional media. Traditional media include radio, broadcast television, cable and satellite, print and billboards. These are the forms of advertising that have been around for years. Even within traditional media, however, there is some debate over which form is best. The answer really depends on you talk to your broadcast TV. Secondly, the example of new media. New media most commonly refers to content available on demand through the internet, accessible on any digital device, usually containing interactive user feedback and creative participations. Common example of new media includes websites such as online newspapers, blogs, wikis, and social media. So the primary benefit of new media is interactivity in active rather than passive participation.
New media help in social work. How new media help in social work? So, social media provides social work educator aid to connect with colleagues from around the world. Nakakatulong ang social media sa mga educator ng social work ng isang paraan para magkaroon ng konektado ang bawat kasamahan ng social work sa pamamagitan sa paggamit ng Twitter or specialized community on Facebook, pagbahagi ng mga social worker ng mga informasyon at mga resources. In addition, social media can help in social work to their work sa pamamagitan ng pagtutulungan sa kanilang research project, presentation, and event publication. How social worker use technology. So, dahil ang social work ay malawak ang bahagi ng kanilang trabaho at kailangan nilang makipag-ugnayan ng harapan sa kanilang clients, dahil sa technology, umaasa sila na bahagi ito ng kanilang trabaho. Natutulungan silang pamahalaan ang kanilang oras sa mga gagawin. So, ang paggamit ng technology sa trabaho ng mga social worker ay mayroong advantage at challenges. Nagiging mahusay ang workers sa paggawa ng mga proyekto at pagbahagi ng mga impormasyon sa mga ahensya ng serbisyong panlipunan. Technology throughout a social work career. Ano nga ba ang teknolohiya sa task ng social worker? So, social worker use technology in every phase of their career, starting with their education, continuing through job searches, and lasting throughout their career. Here are a few more specific examples of how social workers use technology. First is earning an education. So, ang mga social worker ay nagsasagawa ng project through online program para sa undergraduate at graduate sa antas ng social work. So, binibigyan nila ng opportunity yung mga undergraduate and graduate para magkaroon ng trabaho. Second is finding employment. So, sa ngayon, ang social worker ay mayroon ng proseso ng paghanap ng trabaho na nagsisimula sa online through video chat, link, and etc. Kasama na dito ang site ng job link ng Nasway at Social Work Career Magazine. So, third is taking and storing client notes. Ang social worker ay gumagamit ng mga electronic system para sa mahusay na pagsubaybay at pagpapanatili ng data. Here are few categories of software application platforms that social work might use. So, first is electronic data management, electronic medical records, and electronic health records. It is a part of giant digital of warehouses ng information na ginagamit para sa pamamahala ng pangangalaga ng kliyente. Next is web-based Google Docs and Google Sheet. Ito ay nagbibigay daan para sa pakikipagtulungan ng mga social worker sa mga dokumento. Fourth is researching resources. So, ang social worker ay may kakayahang manatiling napapanahon sa peer review na pananaliksik, mga isyong panlipunan at mga iba pang ginagawa ng iba pang mga social worker through by the following blogs, social media account at mga newsletter published by social worker agencies such as NASWay. And the last, business operation and management. So, ang social work manager monitor personnel, create programs, work with budget and organizational finances, and communicate with other professional organization, government entities, a stakeholder, and employee with the help of technology.
Internet and social media impact on social work. As more people turn to the internet for news and information traditional, media sources like newspapers, print magazines, and even encyclopedia are slowly going extinct. It is important than ever to ensure that people understand both the positive support groups' access to information and negative misinformation, cyberbullying, aspects of the internet, and social media. Professionals in the field of social work cannot ignore these new forms of media and communication and must help that ensure that clients and patients are using reputable sources of information. The expansion of social media in the social work practice and education has had a profound impact on the profession. Broadly and primarily, it has created greater access to information that informs practice and provides venues for education to people who previously only had limited to help social workers and health services professionals. They ask professors, academics, and social work professionals the following questions: how has greater access to information and the rise of social media, both the positive and negatives, impacted the field of social work? Based on Dr. Jamie A. Young, Assistant Professor in the Department of Social Work at the University of Nebraska-Kearney, he said on interview, "The negative things, in my opinion, with the rise of social media is the same information can often become diluted or people can easily be misinformed. There are plenty of examples of misinformation because of social media, from major news networks reporting misinformation gathered from social media to senators being duped by fake news organizations like The Onion." Using social media in social work education. The role of social media in social work education is slowly expanding as social media infiltrates more of our daily lives. Social workers may benefit from understanding these new forms of communication, including the advantages and disadvantages of each platform. One of the best ways to become more familiar with these technologies is to use them for both professional and for personal reasons, where clear guidelines and boundaries need to exist for interacting with patients and clients in cyberspaces. The role of social media and social work education is only starting by be expert. Social media provides social work educators a way to connect with colleges from around the world. Through the use of Twitter or a specialized community on Facebook, educators can share information and resources in real time. In addition, they can collaborate in research, projects, presentation, and even publications. In the classrooms, professors can use Twitter to engage. On a more personal level, social media can help social workers obtain knowledge of topics and development about the specific cases, which means they can guide better, more exclusive services to their clients.
Pros and cons of technology in social work careers. Technology may be used to facilitate various forms of service, including counseling, case management, support, and other social work functions. Technology may be also used to facilitate communications, informations, and facilitate various interventions. We have a disadvantage and advantage of proof and cons. First is make faster. or make work faster. One of the main advantages for using technology in the workplace is that make work faster. Number two, encourage use to be updated. Number three, remote or remote connectivity or connect. Number three or number four is social media abuse. Number five, high maintenance costs. Number six, it makes you lazy. Number seven, for the last, is find the balance. We have an example of pros and cons of technology. First, save time, better communications, easy spend our time, develop better learning methods due to technology, improves efficiency for business, will communicate for efficiently due to technology, more job opportunities, and the last, reduce job. Second, I will discuss social work code of ethics. First is social workers respect the inherent dignity and worth of the persons. Social workers treat each person in a caring and respectful fashions and mindful of individual difference in cultures and ethics diversity. Social works promote silence, socially or social responsible self-determination. We have the gold ethics or gold code of ethics of being a social work. First is be an ethical leader. Number two, use moral courage. Number three, consider person and professional reputation. Number four, set the right tone at the top. Number five, maintain an encouraging mindset. Number six, consider the public interest. And the last number seven is consider the right, the good, and the virtue actions. Technology of standard. This is the last part of my discuss. Technology standard. At the most basic level, technology standards establish boundaries for technology to be based or to use acceptable use and restricting access to technology that is deemed non-standard. Standard allows technology to work seamlessly and establish trust so that markets can cooperate smoothly. They provide a common language to measure and evaluate performance, make interoperability of components made by different companies possible, and ethics, etc. Standards are an important aspect of ensuring that public and service are delivered in a harmonious and consistent way, while providing customer and user with a confidence that whatever products and service they are using deliver to specifications or etc. That is the part of, or that is the three discussions, and we explained it. I choose one I explain. First is technology standard. Technology standard is we have a parts, or we have the best important to know, being a students like me. Technology standard is we have a acceptable usage kung paano siya, or you have interest to use this technology.